Is this the end of Benjamin Netanyahu? Is this a clever war strategy? Or is it something much more worrying? You are watching Geo Vanguard, and I am Michael Andrews. In this video, we will unpack the rumors, the deepfake claims, the strange diplomatic signals, and the larger war strategy behind them. Stay with me till the end because this story is not just about one man, but about the future of an entire region. First, let's start with what is burning across social media. Around the world, people are asking, is Netanyahu dead? Is he in a coma? Is his government hiding the truth? Some claim he has passed away. Others argue he is alive but critically ill or in a coma. To prove their claims, different groups are sharing supposed hospital footage, heavily edited clips, and alleged leaks from inside security facilities. None of these are verified, but the rumors are spreading faster than facts. At the same time, there are videos circulating online that people insist are AI-generated deepfakes of Netanyahu. They say, "Look closely, his fingers change, his teeth appear and disappear, the shadows don't match." They point to small visual glitches and argue this isn't a genuine recording, but an artificial reconstruction made to calm the public and the markets. Again, there is no confirmed proof of this, but the perception is powerful. To understand why these theories are even possible, we need to look at a few recent events. In the past days, a highly anticipated meeting between Netanyahu and a senior envoy from the United States was reportedly canceled. The meeting was supposed to focus on the ongoing war, strategic decisions, and next steps in the region. Now, meetings in wartime get delayed or rescheduled all the time. That by itself is not solid evidence of anything. But when you combine this with another key detail, people start connecting dots. For roughly a week, Netanyahu has not made a clear, live, undeniable public appearance. No live press conferences, no real-time Q&A sessions, no events with open access for independent cameras. In parallel, some media and commentators in rival countries have started openly questioning his fate, saying his situation is unclear and demanding proof of life. So far, that proof has not convincingly arrived in a way that shuts down all speculation. In response to the swirling rumors, Israeli media outlets released a video of Netanyahu answering questions from the press. On the surface, this looks like a straightforward attempt to say, "He's fine, here he is." But many online analysts, content creators, and so-called forensic experts started dissecting the footage frame by frame. They argue that in some moments it looks like AI-generated video. They point out that at one point, his hand seems to show an extra finger. In other frames, the alignment of his teeth seems to change. Some teeth look missing in one shot and then appear again in another. For those already suspicious, this is enough to claim the clip is an AI-driven reconstruction rather than a fresh, authentic recording. If that video is indeed manipulated, people ask the obvious question, where is Netanyahu? Why hasn't he walked out, stood in front of independent cameras, and spoken spontaneously to the public and the world? There is another incident that fuels this fire. According to several accounts, a senior American official was in the middle of an interview when he suddenly received a message and abruptly stopped, saying he had to go to the Situation Room because the president needed him immediately. He left the interview, went into closed-door meetings, and when he returned hours later to resume the interview, observers noted he looked shaken, his sentences were less coherent, and his tone had clearly changed. No one said publicly what happened in that gap. For conspiracy-minded audiences, this mysterious interruption is linked directly to Netanyahu's rumored condition. Then there is the digital trail. At one point, an official Israeli government account reportedly posted a message addressing the unconfirmed rumors about Netanyahu's condition, saying that efforts were being made to establish contact and clarify his status. Then, within moments or minutes, that message was deleted. A post about unconfirmed rumors immediately removed only adds more fuel. People now say, if everything is normal, why tweet and delete? What are they hiding? So what is the real story? To explore that, we have to go back decades, to a decision made long before these rumors began. Israel decided it would build its own version of a Pentagon, but not above ground where it could be easily seen or targeted. Instead, it chose to build it deep underground. In central Tel Aviv, there is a street whose exact details are often blurred or restricted in public mapping systems. On that street stands a complex, an underground command and intelligence facility often referred to by a code name, Site 81. It is an electromagnetically shielded, heavily fortified underground nerve center. The goal of this site is simple. Even if the city above is devastated, even if communications are disrupted, the command structure remains intact underground, capable of running a war. This underground pit, as some call it, is where dozens of officers sit in front of massive screens, monitoring multiple fronts, coordinating airstrikes, and making life-or-death decisions in real time. Shifts rotate, but the operations continue around the clock. It is from here, according to many reports, that the most sensitive war directives are issued. Just next door to this underground site stands another crucial building, the Ministry of Defense, sometimes described as a fortress-like complex at the heart of the country's military establishment. In a previous escalation, rival forces claimed to have targeted this defense compound. Initially, there was silence from official channels. Only later did reports surface that strikes had indeed hit near or around these critical sites. After that, images of certain streets around these headquarters were reportedly restricted from public mapping services. Cameras were turned off or removed. The area became more controlled, more opaque. Around the same period, it was also announced that the official Prime Minister's residence required renovation. The public line was that normal maintenance and upgrades were taking place. But skeptics wonder, was it only renovation of a house, or repairs and reinforcement of deeper, more strategic facilities linked to the underground command network? Fast forward to the current war environment. Missiles and drones are being launched, and rival states claim they are hitting high-value targets. Air bases, radar systems, strategic airports, and possibly even the same underground command complexes. One country claims it has struck dozens of military bases, destroyed air defense systems, and launched advanced long-range missiles at the very heart of this defense network, right where Site 81 and the Defense Ministry complex are located. That leads to a chilling possibility. If decision-makers and top leadership were present in that underground facility at the time of a precise, high-impact strike, could key figures have been injured or killed? Could that be the real reason we are not seeing Netanyahu clearly and continuously? Is this why the signals are so mixed? AI-like videos here, cryptic tweets there, sudden meeting cancellations, and nervous diplomats? But now comes the honest part. We do not know. There is no confirmed public evidence today that Netanyahu is dead, in a coma, or gravely incapacitated. It is entirely possible that he is alive, under strict medical supervision, or simply managing the war from secure locations with limited public exposure. It is also possible that some of these proofs people are quoting are misinterpretations, technical glitches, or deliberate disinformation. There is another scenario we cannot ignore. This could all be part of a broader war strategy, an art of war move. In times of high-stakes conflict, information becomes a weapon. Hiding the exact location or condition of a leader can create confusion among enemies, forcing them to guess and hesitate. Releasing ambiguous footage, allowing certain rumors to circulate, and keeping everyone uncertain can itself be a psychological operation. So the key question shifts. Is Netanyahu really gone, or is his visibility being carefully managed as part of a larger game? Now let's look at what this means for the United States and the wider war if Netanyahu is indeed out of the picture, or even just weakened. From Washington's perspective, there are essentially two strategic paths. Option 1. Accept that the war has reached its limits and move toward de-escalation. In this scenario, the U.S. leadership could quietly or openly signal, "We cannot and will not push this conflict any further." That would mean seeking a ceasefire, negotiating settlements, and trying to stabilize the energy routes and financial markets. But this comes with a heavy price. Rival states who feel they have suffered huge damage would demand compensation. They could push for reparations, argue that billions have been lost due to attacks, sanctions, and disruptions, and insist on payments or economic concessions. Control over strategic waterways would also shift. Imagine a scenario where key maritime choke points, through which oil and major shipping containers pass, become leverage points. If rival states start charging tolls, royalties, or transit fees on every tanker and cargo ship passing through, the flow of money begins to change direction. Instead of surplus capital moving mainly into Western markets and technology stocks, a larger share starts moving into the economies of those regional powers. Over the next 5 to 10 years, that could supercharge their development, strengthen their energy corridors, and significantly boost their influence. For Washington, and for its closest allies, this is extremely difficult to accept. When capital flows, investment patterns, and energy routes are reconfigured, so is global power. If their own economy starts to slow as a result, if growth dips, markets shake, and living standards fall, the political consequences at home would be severe. Mass protests, social unrest, and political upheaval become real risks. Leaders in power could face impeachment, election defeats, or internal party revolts. Option 2. Double down and escalate. To protect its global position, the U.S. leadership might choose the opposite path. Rather than stepping back, it steps in more deeply. That could mean putting boots on the ground, committing more troops, and expanding the scope of the conflict in an attempt to regain control, restore deterrence, and secure energy and trade routes by force. This option may look more attractive to a leader who fears that a political revolt at home is worse than continued war abroad. As the old saying goes, a revolution at home is worse than a war overseas. In other words, keeping domestic stability might push decision-makers to fight harder outside their borders. However, this escalation is not a one-sided decision. Rival powers have already warned that if foreign troops enter directly and in large numbers, they will respond in kind. Their foreign ministers and senior officials have publicly said they are ready for them and are prepared to widen the battlefield if necessary. That means any move by Washington to send significant ground forces could trigger a much larger, more dangerous regional war. And in all this, Netanyahu's situation, whatever it truly is, plays a crucial symbolic role. If he has fallen, even temporarily, it sends a message that the conflict has reached the highest levels of vulnerability. If he is alive but hidden, it suggests that the war has entered a phase where secrecy and psychological operations are central. If he is perfectly fine and this is all misinformation, then we are looking at one of the biggest examples of how rumors, AI, and social media can reshape global narratives without a single shot being fired. So, is this the end of Netanyahu? Is his absence a sign of collapse? Or a deliberate move in a high-stakes game of war and perception? Right now, we simply cannot say with certainty. What we can say is this: the war itself is not ending anytime soon. The confrontation between powerful regional blocs and their backers is far from over. The information war, the deepfake narratives, the strategic leaks, and the silent corridors of underground command centers, all of this is just one layer of a much deeper struggle. You have been watching Geo Vanguard, and I am Michael Andrews. If you found this analysis valuable, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. How do you see Netanyahu's situation? Is it war strategy, misinformation, or something far more serious? Thank you for watching. Stay aware, stay critical, and I will see you in the next episode.